We spent our Friendsgiving by the water, which kicked off a long holiday weekend where I proceeded to continue putting into practice swimming beyond my comfort zone and committing to a social function every subsequent day, which, if you know me at all, is not typically my jam. But I've been learning that challenges are doorways and opportunities, and most things are only really scary with repetitive avoidance. I'm having a little bit of a tummy ache from the rich spread of food I'm not typically used to. So Jay was kind enough to make me some kimchi fried rice, which always makes me feel so much better. I just drizzled the top with some toasted sesame oil, gives it such a great, nice, smoky, nutty flavor. For some texture, a little bit of sesame seeds and some nori, and I'm really excited about this. Such a comfort food for me. We were gifted a chocolate fruit, and I happily enjoyed that for dessert. If you want to learn more about it, I created an entire reel on this alluring zapote on my Instagram, linked below. Later, we went on a hike, and I stumbled upon some Turkish cap fruits. You can carefully pop it out, and they're crisp, meaty, and taste very reminiscent of pitaya or unsweetened kiwi. The next day, I went on a photo shoot I committed to, and it really helped with decompressing afterwards since it was right on the beach, and I got to swim in the sea and frolic in the sun afterwards. For as long as I can remember, if I stayed out too long in the sun or spent too much time with other humans, I could tend to get a headache. So I applied an experiment on myself during this longer social stretch and found that they aren't as prevalent if I focus on my breathing and go slow. But just as important is also to surround myself with good energy. As an HSP, I tend to energetically absorb a lot, so it's been beyond essential to spend quality time with women that genuinely support and inspire me. As a queer woman, I've never fully understood the toxic competitive environment that can be perpetuated amongst fellow sisters. Like, these queens were literally clapping and rooting for each other during their shoot, which made my heart sing. Our guest should be arriving within the hour, and I am rolling out my focaccia to serve with the braised pasta. And yeah, for being a cook, no joke, I had to borrow these plates. Not the cutest, but they'll work, and because I only have like 4 plates. Today has been a very emotional day, yet we committed over the weekend to host a dinner party, and I am following through. And this is definitely out of my comfort zone. It's not, being social in itself has been a challenge for me pretty much my entire life. I don't experience social anxiety in the way that, like, when I talk to my friends, they experience it. It doesn't seem like it's a traditional social anxiety. I think for me it whittles down to I have difficulty trusting a lot of energy. Oh, I think a car may have pulled up, so I'm just gonna make this quick. But yeah, it's difficult for me to trust and then also know how to balance my own energy. So this weekend, I think, was a culmination of more social interaction than the entire year for me. And I'm proud to say that I wasn't completely drained because I'm learning through these challenges to balance my energy and to be more present in the now moment. That's been enormously helpful. And yeah, I walked away from multiple social interactions back to back to back this weekend. Yeah, they're in the driveway, but it's all good. And I am learning to use my voice more. I think my throat chakra has and is still kind of blocked, so I'm learning how to not be so fearful of being witnessed and sharing my truth. And often I feel so peculiar and solitary, but your reality is a construct of how you perceive things, and you can create whatever fantastical reality that you intentionally set your mind to create for yourself. And I truly believe that. And I was listening to a podcast this morning about we should really be celebrating our victories, no matter how seemingly insignificant or trivial, because we're so quick to, really get down and out on ourselves when we're not up to par, but we rarely celebrate our victories. So I think this has been a win, and the fact that this will be another consecutive social interaction thing that, I'm gonna see all the way through. I've been cooking all day, and don't know how much I'm gonna be able to film, but I am looking forward to it. And I think I'll become stronger as I put this into practice more. I made fluffy vanilla cupcakes for dessert, and my focaccia came right out of the oven. It's still warm, and it's crusted with some flaky salt and some herbs. I woke up about 20 minutes ago, and I really try daily to get my yoga done immediately. I do my lemon water outside. Sunshine, like I said in my last video, has been tremendous. So I try to soak all that beautiful, delicious, yummy, juicy sunshine into my eyes, into my skin. And that really does provide a mood boost. And then I layer it and reinforce it further with moving my body, releasing those toxins and those, and detoxifying my skin, like just sweating out whatever is bothering me and whatever is ailing me has been very medicinal. So, because I'm definitely guilty of being one of those people that are too in my thinking mind and not in my feeling body. So even in this now moment, I can feel the wind rustling slightly on my cheek, and then we have some wind chimes in the back and in the front door, and I can hear them tinkling in that said wind. I can maybe smell a little lingering bit of that pasta that I didn't even get a shot of in the air. I stewed that thing from 8 o'clock, and then we had people over at 7, so it stewed all day long. Oh, and it's starting to rain, and often there's a rainbow after the rain. So all these things that are saturated in the now moment help me cultivate a groundedness and anchors me into what's the most important and the thing that you can have any type of control over, which is now. And deciphering what you do and do not have control over, which is the past and the future, which you do not have control over. That's been really, it's lent a solace. Just understanding that. I feel like the older I get in this journey, I don't know if you can hear the rain. It's really pretty. The more I go along in this journey, I find that the simplest concepts can kind of strike me and shake me to the core. Jay, actually, to serve as a reminder for me daily, wrote on our fridge, I'll just take a shot of it and show you. It says, look at this beautiful song I wrote. And it's because I have a tendency to be super self-deprecating, and that does not serve us well. I think it's a coping mechanism, an archaic coping mechanism that I used to have, but it's like we're so, like I said last night, we're so quick to like be so hard on ourselves and punish, like almost in a punishing mentality. But then we're not a culture that's kind of what that quote alludes to. It's like we're not a culture that says, look at this beautiful thing I created. Instead, we're more like, yeah, it's okay. It's just a little something I made. Or even, some people are even like, which is something that I used to do. I'd be like, yeah, but it's like this is wrong with it and this is wrong with it. Like I went to my girlfriend's house the other day, and she lives in this beautiful place, like right by the water. And I was like, I love your place. Like it's just so beautiful. And she's just like, it's okay. And why do we speak to ourselves this way? I do it all the time, and I have to like catch myself, but at least I'm like aware of it now and learning to reroute. But so that's what it means when he wrote that, like, look at this beautiful song I wrote, because damn, that song I wrote is beautiful, or whatever you want to fill in the blank with. That whatever I created is beautiful. Like, we gotta celebrate our victories and our triumphs. But speaking of, the dinner party went well last night. I really made a concerted effort to be rooted in the present, and it was really, really instrumental to focus on my breathing. And also, I just had this radical acceptance where I'm going to just embrace my weirdness and my peculiarities, my eccentric oddities and eccentricities. I feel like I'm sometimes too weird for this world. I find that like most people, and this isn't obviously always true, but the rare times I have stumbled upon people and souls that do want to talk about, that do want to go deeper, that's been very special to me. I definitely feel loved when I feel seen, like genuinely seen, and I feel safe in the energy, and I can have like a depth of dialogue, and but I digress. So I find that most people though want to talk about, I don't know, like pop culture or like kitchen renovations or gossip or complain about their spouses or their kids or everything that's going wrong, or just all the things that they don't like about themselves, and just picking themselves apart. Or, I want to talk about, like, tell me about how are you making this world a better place? How are you transmuting your densities and transforming your traumas into triumphs? Tell me about your kink shit, your weird shit, tell me about the things that turn you on. Talk about the passions that light your soul on fire, that make your spirit sing. Tell me, what did you find when you pursued the darkness in you? It was interesting. I was talking to somebody over the weekend, actually. They were like, when you see two angles, there's bright, beautiful light and darkness, go towards the darkness, because that's where the work is needed, and that's where you'll find your answers, and that's where you'll find the transformation. And I was like, that is so true. Like, tell me about your dark shit. Tell me about, the battles, tell me about, like, how you're feeling the fear and you're slamming through it anyways, and you're sitting with that discomfort. And who wants to sit in discomfort? But you're doing it, and you're coming out the other side. Tell me what you found. Tell me what you found when you were cultivating stillness. Tell me about that stuff. And I think that it's another reason why I find my social battery to be so drained all the time, because like, people, again, not a blanket statement for everyone, of course, but it's easier to sit in the shallow pool, and it's easier not to have to face things head on. It's scary, and it's like, discomfort isn't even probably the accurate word. It's hard, and it's scary, and it's foreign, and people are resistant to change. That's just us by nature. So I'm gonna try and learn how to, like, sweep all this together into a beautiful tapestry, and learn how to strike a balance so that it's a tapestry that I can look at. Because being social it was crippling at one point in my life. I mentioned in one of my videos about my depression and anxiety journey, there was a point where I just didn't even come out of my house at all. And that's no way to live either. I think it's all about striking a balance, that's why I'm gonna do my yoga this morning.